including illegal spying. So let's go ahead and pull up this video here. Shout out again to Hotspot and Nico House. I'm going to play this video in its full entirety.
KimDotcom is set to be extradited from New Zealand to the United States after a long-standing legal battle over his website Mega Upload. Now, the United States wants Kim extradited because of charges of copyright infringement, money laundering, and racketeering costing over $500 million to these music and film industries. But the problem is, it isn't that he committed these crimes. They're trying to hold him accountable for what other people did on his website. Now, in my opinion, it's already criminal that they're trying to hold KimDotcom accountable for something that other people did. But I feel like there's a more interesting angle that hasn't been touched yet. And that is, every time that someone tries to hold Facebook or X or these other websites accountable in a similar fashion, they always hit us with Section 230, claiming that they cannot be held liable for what other people do on their websites. Because we've all seen cases of copyright infringement, libel, slander. I mean, there's a whole host of issues that we've seen happen on all these social media websites, including some criminal wrongdoings that they've done to their users, and yet they've always been able to hide behind Section 230. However, in this particular case, Kim and Mega Upload, for some reason, don't get that grace, and he's being held criminally liable in a way that these other companies have never been held liable. If you ask me, this looks more political than anything, because according to his legal team, they've done illegal raids of his home, illegal spying, withholding evidence, destroying evidence, blocking legal funds. I mean, a U.S. judge recused himself. Why would you go through all of this for $500 million unless it was about something more? And seeing as KimDotcom is a free speech and freedom of information advocate, it would not be surprising at all that this was just personal, probably just trying to use Kim as an example so that no one with that type of money and power will ever try to use their influence to positively impact the system in the way that KimDotcom has been known to do in the past.
Well said. Well said by Nico House. I want to pull up this article here by RT just to trigger the libs. Of course, I always like saying it, just to trigger the libs. So what's going to happen here? So again, Mega Uploader founder has faced copyright infringement charges since 2012. Oh boy, here we go. The government of New Zealand has signed extradition orders for Mega Upload creator KimDotcom, ending a decade-long legal battle and clearing the way for him to be sent to the U.S. for trial. Because nothing could go wrong if he's sent to the USA, right? Right? Just ask Julian Assange and his family how they felt about that. Yeah, they didn't like it too much. The U.S. has charged the internet entrepreneur with racketeering, conspiracy to commit copyright infringement, and conspiring to launder money. Ooh la la. Well, who knew? Who knew indeed, right? Among other things, .com has argued his company could not be liable for user behavior. I consider all the information carefully and decided that Mr. .com should be surrendered to the U.S. to face trial, said Justice Minister Paul Goldsmith said on Thursday. As is common practice, have allowed Mr. .com a short period of time to consider and take advice on my decision. I will not, therefore, be commenting further at this stage. .com has apparently aware of the decision earlier this week, posting on X that the obedient U.S. colony in the South Pacific just decided to extradite me for what users uploaded to Mega Upload. So... Worst fear, sneezing online and while doing the live show. I hate doing that. The German-born tech executive created Mega Upload in 2005 and moved to New Zealand in 2010. The platform, which allowed users to easily upload and share content, ended up seized by the FBI in 2012. Washington has alleged that .com and 3 other Mega Upload officers did more than $500 million in damage to film studios and record companies by encouraging users to share copyrighted material. Are you sure about that? Because you got to prove that in the court, honey child. Now, we know that there's a rigged system, but come on. .com has been a vocal defender of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. There you go. That's the problem right there. Defender of Julian Assange and a free speech advocate online. Charges against him have been described as politically motivated and weaponized lawfare. Weaponized lawfare. What I'm seeing here is somebody who, I guess, triggered the elite, and they didn't like it. And nothing's more vile than weaponized lawfare. In 2017, .com argued that New Zealand laws make it clear that a platform can't be held criminally liable for actions of its users. In 2020, the courts ruled that the 4 defendants could only be extradited on copyright infringement charges, but not money laundering, in what .com described as a mixed bag. 2 of the defendants, Massis Orman and Bram van der Kolk, struck plea deals with the New Zealand government to avoid extradition. They were sentenced to prison terms in 2023. The 4th executive chief marketing officer, Finn Batto, died in 2022. So what can we learn from this? Well, when you are an advocate for free speech, when you stand in solidarity with whistleblowers, activists, and journalists who are fighting for free speech, fighting for truth, fighting for understanding, fighting for the fact that we are living in a 2-tier justice system, fighting for the fact that there's massive wave of neoliberal policies impacting us, we have an innocent man that's going to potentially be extradited to the United States. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? He upset the wrong people. And when you upset the wrong people in the 2-party system, you become the enemy. This should not happen to him. He should not be extradited. And I do hope that his legal team is able to save him. I wish him all the best in this fight. But folks, when I said that the censorship is going to get crazier, I meant it.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe?
Fresh off the masses, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat. Couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt, lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. The cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. Worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. Right for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision of natural fission, of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who will listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your text, after they raid your apartment, confiscate all of its contents, then conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically, first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Well, it might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She's wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and is only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe?